Welcome. The collective is here for your information, knowledge, and love. What we ask of you is to sit and listen. Listen to that frequency. Listen to the vibration. It is that is healing, comforting. It is that you seek. For it is the words that your ears hear, but it is the vibration that your essence and your energy connect to. It is once again time to discuss this understanding of distraction. This understanding of distraction that is in front of you all day, all night. It is the distractions of your human world that are laid out before you. It is these distractions that are there to inhibit, slow, change a trajectory that you are set out on. For it is this understanding of distractions. You understand what is out in front of you. You understand this life that you are immersed in. It is as if you cannot get yourself away from the distractions. They are always there. You can turn the radio off, you can turn the TV off, you can turn the computer off, but yet there are still distractions in front of you. It isn't just what someone is saying. It isn't what is in your media or your news or in your email. But it is what you see with your humanness and sense with your divine essence. It is another layer of distraction. For you see, it is easy enough to limit what you consume through your humanness, your ears, your eyes. But it is this action of the other energetic pieces, the other humans, their divine selves, and their journey, and how it is laid out before you, how you interact with it, how you align to it. That can be a distraction. It is what they say, it is what they do, or it is a lack of what they say and a lack of what they say they are going to do. You see, it comes down to your own existence. You are here in your incarnation, your existence, your humanness. You are here to understand your existence and to balance that existence in this world. It isn't to say to release from everyone that is around you, release from those that you know, no. But it is how to come into full understanding, full awareness, full balance of your own self. And not allow others in their energy to affect you. For it is this understanding of everyone's energy is intertwined purposefully. You understand that. That is your role as a practitioner, as a client, as a human. You are here to interact energetically. But it is that interaction that is a distraction at times. For you believe, many believe they're on a trajectory, they're on a path for their enlightenment. They are on a path to prosperity. They're on a path to success. They're on a path. But then there are individuals that intersect with that path that begin to skew what you believe. Distraction. They are there purposefully, for you have aligned these individuals to your path. Not to distract you, not to pull you from where you are going, but to strengthen you on your path. To test your resolve, your confidence, your depth of understanding for yourself. Trusting that you are aligned exactly where you need to be, without any distraction or any movement from that path that you have set out to do. Yes, the path is going to maneuver itself back and forth, from side to side, divert at times. Those are all purposeful. But this distraction of others, it is at times, you can say, the comparison to. How do you compare to others? Why do you feel it necessary to compare? That is a distraction. But this individual is doing this. This individual is doing that. This individual is very successful. What is it that I need to do to be very successful? Why am I not very successful? What is it that I'm not doing that is inhibiting me? It is just that action that is inhibiting you. That is the distraction. It is the comparison. It is the aligning to something that isn't your true self. So it is to go into the depth of self, understand your resolve and your strength of where you are to be. For many of you, if you were to answer that, if you were to set yourself into a meditative space and ask the question, where do I align myself? Do I align myself with others' thinking? Do I align myself with someone else's concepts? Do I align myself with someone else's teachings? For many of you, the truth in the answer would be yes. Even though it might be very slight, it is there. It is human nature. It is the humanness that wants to compare, that wants to align yourself with someone else. But it is truly your nature, your divine nature, to be your own beacon and not share that light with anyone else. That isn't being, in your understanding, arrogant, but that beacon is your beacon. That beacon can only radiate your frequency, your signature. But if you are aligning yourself with distractions from others, now that frequency of yours is intermingled with somebody else's frequency. And when somebody is seeking your light, seeking your connection, the signals might be a bit fuzzy. The signals may be a bit off. But if you're radiating the pureness of your own journey, your own essence, your own alignment, then that is what they align to. So again, distractions that are closer to self than you understand. It's an uncomfortable place. It's an uncomfortable feeling when you look into the depth of it. But it's an easy place to maneuver yourself out of. It is through self-reflection and understanding Where do my strengths lie? Do I need to compare myself in the smallest bit to someone else? And when you begin to answer those questions no, and you begin to realign your perspective of yourself for the world to see, then things begin to be a bit lighter. Things begin to be a bit clearer. Those that are gathered around you come a little closer. They seek the purity in your existence. So allow yourself time to reflect upon this. Time to reflect upon what is the distractions that are in your life that are personal. For you see, it is this trajectory that all are on, this ascension trajectory. And it is purposeful that you let go of those distractions sooner than later. For the evolution of humanity is moving towards ascension. And it isn't a place to be carrying around weight of the world that is distracting you. If you have questions, please begin.
Thank you so much for your presence. That was a beautiful opener. Thank you. So Wendy was told that she's been honored with a Centaur as a guardian. What can you tell her about that? And the Centaur is a hybrid of whom, please?
From your earthly plane, it is this understanding of the mythology of the Centaur, the alignment and the energetic balancing that takes place. Yes, hybrid, but it is to understand that this, as it has been brought to you, a protector, for it has centered around you purposefully at this particular point. It has centered itself around you to see ahead of you, to see around you. It is as if you sit astride and is observing all around, protecting you, not from what, not from where, but it is keeping a vigilant eye for any, yes, distractions, but it is this action of infiltration. Many are sensing this aspect in themselves. And this isn't negative entities that are trying to infiltrate, or lower energies or beings that wish to infiltrate into your essence. No. But it is vibrational infiltration from what is taking place around the world. Many are sensing that as well, but you are finding yourself being protected from that. This infiltration from what is taking place around this world, if it were to be allowed in, many are sensing this, it begins to suppress your forward movement. It begins to suppress what you are set out to do. It hinders that alignment of not your purpose, but more in the aspect of the certain gifts that are aligned to you. It begins to suppress them. So if you are to provide energy to someone, before it was quite amplified, but because of the infiltration of all of what is taking place around this planet, it doesn't feel as if it is just as strong as it once was. So for you, you have someone that is observant for you, to shield that from you as it comes in, to allow those pathways to be fully aligned and fully opened. The hybrid aspect. This aspect of the human and the bull. It is this marriage between the strength and the humility. It is this marriage between the warrior and the fragility of the human. When you blend the two together, you are vigilant against all. So it is this that you sense as far as a protectorate around you, this aspect of self. See, when they are blended together, just as you are, you're sensitive to all that is trying to infiltrate, trying to merge into your existence, but it is shielded as it approaches.
Thank you for that. Then is the Centaur affiliated or associated with any of the 12?
It is not aligned directly with any of the 12.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. In terms of galactic alignments, we have 3 people who would like to know their primary and their source cluster. May we ask?
You may.
Margaret, who's on with us, would like to know her primary and her source, please.
Primary Arcturian, source Orion.
Wonderful. And how about Carrie, who's on with us?
Primary Lyran, source Arcturian.
Wonderful. And Carrie's husband, Thomas, please.
Palladian, source Syrian.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Do you have a message for Adrienne tonight that would help her to better navigate this time of massive transformation, or transition rather, in her personal and professional life?
Aspects of transition blended with the physical and your energetic presence. Transition itself. It's allowing those things that all are around you, that you know are weighting you down, that you know that are present with you, that are not vibrating at their fullest. Allow them to fade. Allow them to transition out of your sphere, out of your energetic sphere. You can assist them. Allow yourself to visualize those relationships, those contracts, those alignments, those energies, even to the point, those particular modalities that are feeling weighty. They're no longer as vibrant as they once were. They're not serving as they once were. Allow them individually to be recognized as a spiral of energy. And you gently guide them out of your sphere of energy, out into the universe and allow universe to transmute it, reassign it, realign it. For they are not serving you, but they will serve someone else. For what you are trying to move through this point of transition for is to lighten, and this is a message for all to understand. You are all going through a point of transition. Many are feeling the leading edge, many are deeply immersed in it. But this point of transition is purposeful. It is just as it has been expressed about the distractions of one's life. This point of transition is purposeful. It is to lighten your energetic existence. Whether it is to get rid of physical items or get rid of energetic items, relationships, contracts, modalities. It is to understand this lightening process is purposeful for this ascension that is on the horizon. As you begin to transition these, allowing them to spiral out of your energetic sphere, it isn't to reintroduce something new, to bring in something else. It is to sit comfortably now lightened and explore that space that you have opened up. That is the space of creation. Not to create something new to burden yourself with, but something expressive to bring forth new energy, new creative energy, new expressive energy. That doesn't burden. So it is this understanding, allowing yourself to transition those things that no longer serve. You have a list of them. They are prominent in front of you. But revise that list, refine that list, and you'll find that even with one, there are 3 more. And as you do, as you begin to methodically move through the list, you'll feel this lightening taking place, opening up a space within inside of you for creativity to be expressed.
Lovely, thank you for that. Kathy L., who's with us, is curious about the origin of Sekhmet and her relationship with Sekhmet. What can you tell her, please?
This alignment, this extremely strong feminine alignment is purposeful. It is not only to strengthen you, but it is to begin to teach you. For Sekhmet has been here within this energetic space of this planet from the beginning, though in energetic form, and then moving into a hybrid form of existence. The origins of Sekhmet is this. It is to bring in this deep alignment with the feminine, and it is there purposefully to counter masculine. But not in a way that it is disruptive, but it is in a way that it infuses and begins to balance the over-masculine reach with the gentleness of this strong feminine. So you are being drawn to this alignment for your strength in feminine, this feminine alignment, divine feminine that is present, has always been present with you, and you've also always understood this aspect of trying to balance masculine, trying to, in the physicality, balance masculine. Unsuccessful at times, but others extremely successful, though you may not have fully understood the process. this alignment now that you're being called into. This is a divine alignment, and it is a blending of both of your energies. And it is this understanding of shifting, no matter where you are, the balance of masculine and feminine into an appropriate balance. Even though those that might be around are not receptive, you are changing the environment in which it exists. That is its purpose. It isn't to go in and push into someone else's energy and begin to shift that. It is to shift the environmental space that it exists in. Yes, each individual holds both masculine and feminine, and that is worked upon in a different way. This is the environment that all exist in. Whether it is you go into the workspace, the store, the school, dependent upon where you go, it is this sense that you have that it is overbalanced in one extreme or the other. But this alignment that you have will begin to balance it before you even arrive, and you'll set in that space to allow it to overtake and balance out.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you. So Maria has a question about the Romanian Orthodox Church. Apparently there's a calendar that an Orthodox person is supposed to follow that gives strict guidelines about diet, what to eat on certain days or times of the year, and so forth. Is there any benefit to following those rules? And also we're curious, when were those rules created and by whom, please?
The by whom, it is just as all religions, the human brought forth all of that teaching, all of that information, whether it is calendars or scriptures. Yes, divinely aligned, but then translated through the human aspect. That is the overall understanding. When allow it to be understood in your time frame of understanding. Just beyond the first writings and first understanding of what was taking place, just beyond the 2,500 year mark of your timelines. The purpose, the understanding of these calendars, these particular, in your humanness, or you would call them rules, these are interpretations. Interpretations of how one shall live for full divine alignment. But they have been changed through time, just as many tribes keep the voice active through storytelling over centuries, over millennia, the stories change. This is very similar. The expression from the beginning of how to live in a divine aspect is set, yes, within a calendar aspect, but your calendar was not of your 12th month as you understand it here. It was structured much differently. And it is, yes, to align yourself according to seasons, according to celestial alignments. allowing yourself energetically to balance with the influxes and changes, the tides, if you were, the push and pull of the planet, the push and pull of your stars, the push and pull of your moon, all the while being divinely aligned, and how your energetic body is being maneuvered and pushed and pulled. Certain things, as you take them in, balance it. Certain things that you take in begin to purge it. So that's what these calendars, all religions have a particular calendar or a particular set of rules or instructions of how to balance one's existence through these moments. But they have become this is a difficult word to put in place, but it is the only word to use. But they have been corrupted through time. They have been utilized to place rules, strict rules, upon those that believe, those that follow, to impart a bit of fear, a bit of challenge, a bit of difficulty in their existence. That in itself, just as it has been expressed in the beginning, it is these types of distractions that keep you from living in your fullness, in your full divine alignment, in your full divine expression. So yes, you can look upon the calendar as a resource, an alignment of understanding, but it is to dig deep within it to understand the true nature, the true understanding of what takes place, when and why, and how it affects not only the physical, but the energetic. For you see, what was translated was divine. What was translated was from source. What was translated was purposeful for a purposeful existence. But it has been changed and changed and changed to what you have today. So it is to align yourself with what lies beneath, not on the surface.
Thank you for that. And so when you say 2500 year, would that be our BC?
You would understand it in that fashion, yes.
Okay, thank you. So Samantha's curious. There seems to be a bit of a controversy as to whether the Earth is round or flat. How would you answer that question, please?
The world that you exist in, just as all things, as you see it before you, is the glass that sits before you half empty, half full? Where is your perspective? There isn't a correct answer because it is dependent upon the individual that is perceiving what they see before them. Have you observed from above? Can you observe from above? Can you travel around your planet and observe the entirety of your planet? One answer is no in your physicality. But in your essence, your divine self, your energetic, allow yourself to travel around this planet and observe from your perspective. As you see it in front of you, it will look flat. But you maneuver to another location and it will again look flat. But you are transversing a globe. There is a physical object of Earth that is round. But dimensionally, how do you perceive it? There isn't one correct answer. It's from a point of perspective. So it isn't to challenge those that say it's flat or those that say it's round. Each is correct, dependent upon the observational point at which you see it. this in itself is a greater understanding, a greater lesson. Whether you understand the planet that you exist on to be flat or round or a globe or a ball, that is just a mere reflection of many other things in one's existence. How do you perceive those things that challenge you? Do you only perceive them from where you sit? Or are you seeing them from a place above where you sit to see the entirety of the equation? For you see, the human nature is to challenge all things by only what one individual knows and has that perspective. But when you understand that it isn't necessarily the perspective of the humanness that is correct, it's how it's observed from outside of your humanness. Everything from a conversation to a relationship to an agreement. When you are in the midst of it, you only have one perspective, and that is yours. It is difficult to see the other perspective. But allow yourself this point of view that is above, separated from the humanness just for a moment, to see all pieces that are involved. Now you have the true perspective, and yet it is still your perspective. But when you have this overview, this true perspective, and you enter back in, your discernment, your connection, the advice, the information, the understanding will be just a bit different and a bit easier to blend.
Fantastic answer, thank you. Christina would like some information on how to heal her back pain, and are there any guides who specifically work with her regarding her physical body, please?
What is it that is restricting you from movement? What is it in your existence and your awareness that is preventing you from the flexibility of moving about in your space? What energetically is binding to the muscles of your lower back that is preventing you from seeing in all directions? For it is this constriction of energy that is preventing you from fully embracing the flexibility in your existence. It is these understandings of true discernment, these understandings of encapsulating one's self for preservation. What are you afraid to say? What are you afraid to bring forward? What are you afraid that others are going to say or think? What are you afraid will happen? Though they may be very small, energetically they're very large, constricting, binding, allowing lack of flexibility in what you do. So begin to assess these actions, these understandings in oneself. And what you begin to find is relief as you begin to acknowledge these aspects of self, allowing yourself to give them gratitude and the unconditional love that is necessary. That is what they're calling for. That is what they're beckoning for, is attention. They're wanting attention. This is why they're giving discomfort. But once you acknowledge them and you provide the gratitude towards them, you can allow them and ask them to disconnect and release from, because they are no longer serving. They're no longer providing to you any need. Once that has begins to clear and you begin to see the flexibility in yourself, then the physicality can be addressed. The true nature of the physicality can be addressed. The muscle tension, the skeletal pieces can be addressed. For now, if you were to go to your medical care, they wouldn't see exactly what needs to be seen physically because it is being masked energetically. Once the energetic mask is released, they can then provide you clarity on the physicality. From the physical aspect, allowing yourself to provide the human body with turmeric and magnesiums to loosen the muscles, to give less discomfort in the muscular structures while you work on the energetic. Then you can address the physical.
Very helpful, thank you. Are there any guides that want to work with her body?
During the healing process, allow Archangel Raphael to settle in, allowing his guidance and his energy to surround you in the locations in which are the most inflamed. Call in Archangel Metatron to surround you and be immersed in his Merkaba, his white crystalline space. This will be your healing space, your comfort space, while you energetically release from what is binding you.
Thank you very much for that. So Mark has a question. He asks, who is Tony? And should Mark follow him or stay far away from Tony, please?
There is an energetic alignment between this individual and yourself from an aspect of a brother-to-brother energy that is connected. Looking upon one's path, their journey, this particular individual, you do not have an intersectional point. You have not contracted with this individual to have an intersectional point, though he has contracted with you for particular intersectional points. So you have to understand the difference in this alignment. You have not brought him into your awareness. He has brought you into his awareness for his growth. What can be said for the intersectional points that are aligned for his growth? It is for you to understand this is, though it has not been assigned to your journey, But these are points of discernment, growth in discernment. You understand discernment quite well, but it is these points that are going to be test points. And why would there need to be test points to understand whether it is good or bad, whether it is acceptable or not? For there is, on your path, there is an intersection of growth, substantial growth. But it is going to require the deepest level of discernment for you to either accept or not accept this particular intersection. Though if you do not accept it at this particular point, it will reoccur again. This is what you have contracted. This level of expansion, this level of growth is significant for you. But it is a point at which you will know, are you ready to move forward with that growth or not? And it will be this deep level of discernment which will be facilitated by the testing of this individual. This is why at times it feels familiar. This is why at times, though, too, it feels as if there's nothing good to come of it. Understand. There is much that will be learned from his aspect, and from you, it will be a growth point. So if you wish to completely disconnect, that is entirely up to you. If you wish to accept points at which he enters into your journey just for a moment, not extended periods, just for a moment, then that is acceptable as well, as long as you understand the growth that is assigned to it. And that is through discernment.
Very helpful. Thank you for that. Alex is taking some medication that he's having some secondary effects. What can he do to minimize the effect of that medication and have his body absorb only what is needed, please?
You've already built the relationship with the medication. Now it is time to explore the medication itself. Meaning, as you begin to process, as you begin to ingest, prior to ingesting, visualize the medication itself being broken apart in fragments, and only the fragments that are needed at that particular point, not all of them will be needed, those are the only ones you will activate. The rest will be dormant. Then reassemble and ingest. So it is simple as visualizing it being broken apart into fragments, identifying the different pieces that are appropriate for what is needed physically, and the rest, turn them off. Close the medication and ingest. It is just that simple.
Fantastic, thank you. Kathy C. says her son is moving back home with her in a couple of weeks, and she wants to help him, but she's uncertain about this situation. What does she need to know, please?
Or both of you have aligned this interaction. Both of you at this particular point. Both for growth, but two levels of growth. Two different levels of growth. For there is an underpinning of awareness within the sun. It is there. It is expressed at times, but not to any great depth. And for you, you have this awareness that is about you. There is growth already there. There is understanding. But again, it is the bridging between the physicality of what needs to be done in the physical as well as what needs to be done energetically. This is the difficult part of bridging that. But as the sun is reintroduced into this dynamic, this understanding in yourself of bridging, this understanding of fully immersing yourself to allow the humanness to step aside and your divine aspect, your divine healer, to be prominent, to be out front, will start to take place. You'll sense it as a disruption in your energy for just a short amount of time. This is the unsettledness, knowing that this bridge needs to be built and you need to allow your divine self to step forward. For it will be the divine self and your alignment that is going to allow your son to begin to express in a way that he hasn't. There's going to be challenges, yes, but there is a blending that is purposeful. For you see, this isn't the first existence the two of you have had together. This isn't the first existence that you have merged together. But in each existence, you have played the role of teacher and student, student and teacher, back and forth. This is what is aligned through time. Here again, the classroom is being opened for teaching. So allow yourself this process of understanding that it is time to allow yourself to switch roles within yourself and allow your divine to be more present than your humanness.
Very good to know. Thank you for that. And Sandy is curious what she can do now to activate and live in her highest potential, please.
Just as it has been said, allow yourself to observe the distractions that are all around you. Assess all of these distractions, assess all of these interactions, and begin to align them in a way that they are purposeful in your existence. Meaning, if they are no longer needed, allow them to be transitioned out of your existence. Keep the ones that are the strongest for you. But it is reshuffling the deck. It is reshuffling this experience, reshuffling this existence in a way that it is beginning to feel strengthened, but yet light. For you cannot carry around the baggage, the weight of this world as it progresses towards ascension. You cannot. You have to let go of physicality, the physical items that might be holding you back, the energetic relationships, the energetic connections, the energetic agreements, good, bad, or indifferent. Many of them are no longer serving. You have them tucked away within your energetic field, and you don't even know it. And that too is weighting you down. It is this understanding of what is purposeful for one's life. What is it that I need to focus on? Is it 1,000 things or one thing? Is it 100 things or 5 things? It is these moments of alignment that are purposeful to understand that it is all about lightening one's space that they exist in. What foods do you consume? Where do you need to shift in what you eat, drink? But remembering, your humanness is here to be human. Do not deprive your human of those things that it enjoys, but understand what is purposeful to allow your energy to be its fullest. So that, in itself, is how you strengthen, begin to grow, and to be purposeful for all others to experience.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Before we close, do you have any final remarks, please?
Allow yourself to be tested. Allow yourself to be tested by those things that are distracting you. That is the only way that you have the discernment of what to let go of. Allow yourself not to focus, but allow yourself to be distracted for a moment on something. That is when you can assess. Allow yourself to be immersed in something that might be uncomfortable for just a moment. That is only how you can assess what is necessary. It is not talking about your media, your news, your emails, all of what is broadcast to you. But what it is to be is the things that are right here in front of you every single day. The other humans, the discussions, all things. Allow them to come into your awareness. They may be uncomfortable, but that is how you grow and strengthen that discernment. And then allow them to be released from your awareness, because they no longer serve. And only keep those things that allow you to be the lightest, most efficient being, energetic essence, divine self that you can be.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much for being present tonight.
As always, the collective is here for your information, knowledge, and love.